Now, a message from the UN.
And we're back. Andy Frasco, World Saving Podcast. How's your heads? How's your minds? How's your hearts? How's your anxiety?
How's your standard poodle?
Look at Denzel. Look at this. Look at this fucking... Denzel is just on here just protecting us.
Yeah, he looks like he is guarding me right now because Westby's here and he does not like Westby.
Yeah, he does not like Westby.
Holy shit.
But we're out here. The Gem and Jam Music Festival installation.
It's this week, right?
It's this weekend, people. There's still time to grab your tickets if you're in the Tucson area. And also, I've been looking at flights last minute lately.
They're cheap.
Fucking flights are cheap as shit right now. So if you're like kind of on the fence because you feel like, you know, flights might be a little expensive.
Add to that, even the flights directly to Tucson are cheap.
Yeah.
Which is an hour from Phoenix. So you should just fly to Tucson, stay at Tucson Airport Hotel. Right. Bam, you're right there, shuttling in.
Boom, boom, boom.
Go look at some gems.
Yeah. And and Tucson's awesome. Arizona's awesome. Great lineup. LPGOB, Disco Biscuits, us, 10th Mountain Division, Lettuce. It's a big lineup. It's gonna be fun. I can't. Daily Bread.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh, of the trees.
That's trees
that's another
too.
big
He's
headliner.
Popping. Yeah,
he's popping hard.
Hey Denzel, how you doing, buddy? Our guard dog protecting us. We have round 2 with Jon motherfucking Barber. I love this interview. He kind of like gets emotional in some parts, talking about his parents dying. I'll let you.
A lot of stuff happened to him in the last year.
Yeah, and it's been good.
He's becoming a human being,
and he's also putting his name in the hat for drummer of Goose.
Yep, and guitarist for Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh.
Remember, they're hiring. They hiring.
I
want to go to the Smashing Pumpkins office in Chicago and go, y'all hiring?
Y'all hiring?
Hey, y'all hiring?
Y'all hiring?
Like a gas station.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all hiring?
Y'all hiring?
Part-time?
Part-time. So, grab your tickets to Gem and Jam. This is going to be a short opening.
Don't worry, I'm on the interview, guys. You'll still get your...
Yes. Thank you, everyone who came to the Ogden. We sold it out. It's our biggest headline to date.
Wow, that was a great sit-in by me, huh?
Yeah, you killed it. We had that 10-piece band sit in.
Yeah, man, everything went perfect.
Everything went perfect.
Wow, that was great on January 26th.
It was killer.
I can't believe you sold it out.
I know, right? 1,600 tickets. I'm proud of this band.
That we made.
I know.
People love that we made that video at Don's, by the way.
I know. It's so Denver, making that video at Don's.
But that was the thing that, like, people were commenting on that the most.
Yeah, and Montucky. I had a Montucky in my hand. They're like, hell yeah. Frasco is Denver now. Affirmation.
Okay.
Over.
Nothing's Denver. Denver doesn't have a thing.
I feel like it really felt like a local show this weekend.
It is. It's because it's where you live now. You're from. That's what local means.
I've never felt like I've had a home. This is the first time I've had a home.
Not even when you were like 12?
No.
In your parents' house with your special...
I always felt like I was a guest.
You don't feel like the place where you had a cum drawer was your home?
No. That's why I put it in the drawer.
Fair enough.
I would have put it all over everything else.
That's true.
Let's go.
Oh, my God.
Woo!
Hello.
Hello, we're on fire. Also, dialed in gummies.
Dial them in, baby.
Dial it the fuck in with our boys. It was great to see them this weekend. They had the whole family out there for that.
Yep.
And it was awesome. Oh, man, I picked a booger and I put it in my mouth. It would taste like cocaine.
Okay. You are Denver then, I guess.
Yeah, let's go.
That solves it. That solves the mystery of, is Andy Denver or not?
I am. It's like, are you Denver? Do you go out at night and wake up with bad nasal energy?
Did you have the same conversation 75 times last night?
In a bathroom, in a weird bathroom?
Right. Did you breathe in something over an open toilet? In a public restroom?
Did you breathe in something over an open
Did you snort as hard as you could in a substance while standing over an open toilet in a public restroom? Denver, the most beautiful city in America. That's enough buttons.
All right, no more buttons.
Oh, God.
So
being
grab yourself some
today.
dialed in gummies. You'll love them. We love them. If you're in Colorado, if you're still in Colorado after our Red Rocks play, go grab yourself some and bring them on the airplane.
He loves you right now.
I know he's the best.
Isn't he like? He's like he should
Actually,
be.
that's illegal. They'll be pissed at me if I said that.
What?
Don't bring dialed in gummies on the airplane.
No, buy them when you get here.
Buy them when you get here, eat them. But if you're gonna fly out with
No,
them,
you can't do that, guys. That's illegal.
I know, but I know TSA, and you're fine.
TSA is a fucking dog and pony show.
It's a fucking dog and pony show. I always, whenever I go through TSA, I always look at what they're looking at, just to see.
Yeah, like the X-ray thing.
Yeah, I keep on testing. I put a little mushrooms in there, see if they see it.
Put a loaded gun.
Put a loaded gun.
It's okay. I'm white. I'm a middle-aged white guy. I'm supposed to have a gun on me. No, I don't have a permit. I have this face and body. And I'm from Indiana.
Yeah. Hey, look at it. You definitely. It's like he has a gun and the book. If I did it.
I'm just reading an OJ book with my gun on me. No, you're weird.
Too fucking funny. Too fucking funny. So grab yourself some dialed in gummies. And then if you want to watch this performance of Jon Barber really getting deep, stop listening to it on Apple Podcasts and head to volume.com. Yes, volume.com. The best in live stream businesses. They live streamed our show at the Ogden as well. So if you want to watch it, you could have them in there. You can watch the Ogden show, and all our episodes are stockpiled. But also, if you're a content creator and you're looking to get some content out there, why not put it on volume.com? It is the best program out there. I mean, sure.
It does work really well.
Nugs. Cool. Everyone's on Nugs.
Oh,
no
cool.
big
You're
deal.
in a jam band.
Cool. You're in a jam band.
But they don't really do streaming on
Nugs.
That's just live shows, right?
I know.
Yeah.
But
there's no video.
Good video. A good staff rocking your shit. Head to volume.com. And we've been having meetings of the minds.
They're obsessed with us.
They're obsessed with us.
They're fucking obsessed with us.
Fucking obsessed with us.
Especially Andy.
Oh man, we had a great time. I went to the company party last weekend, and their magic tricks, and they're
I
like,
know.
I can't believe you went. Like they're all like astonished that I showed up to the company party. I'm like, you guys are my boys. Why would I not go? I'm part of the company. I have
literally nothing going on in my personal life, guys.
I do not want to be in Denver on a Friday so I could just have bad nostrils for the whole weekend.
I love close-up magic.
I love that. I love just being in nice hotels. They put me up in a nice hotel.
I love nice
They really
hotels.
treated me like real fucking royalty. It was really cool.
I like nice hotels better than my home. I like.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Me too.
If I could live in a hotel, I would.
I would too.
Yeah.
I always think about that. Royal Tannenbaums, where Bill Murray was like living in a hotel.
That's my dream life, basically.
It is mine
Just
too.
to be an old, lonely man in a hotel.
Yeah, with dope pajamas.
Just OJ book, weed,
Yeah,
just fucking
just
reading
OJ
serial
book.
killer books.
Just and you're just by yourself on the terrace, just smoking a cigarette.
Oh yeah.
Judging the people who just show up for 2 days.
I want to be one of those
They're
old
peasants.
guys. I definitely want to just be like a total fucking loser when I'm old. I want people to feel really bad for me, but I'm happy.
Right. So head to volume.com. Shout out to volume.com too for hosting us. You really make us feel like we're part of the team and not just a commodity, and it really means a lot. Is that the right word? Commodity?
I'd like to feel like a commodity a little bit too, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So next time we do the company party, please bring Nick. He wants his own room as well.
I'll do trivia at it.
That's a great idea.
They already have a magician.
Constantine. The guy who edits
Connie. I know Connie.
Connie's
We
the
email.
fucking man, dude.
Oh, really?
Dude, the whole crew is dope.
I worked with Constantine on all those breakouts. while
Yeah,
you were on tour.
Constantine's the man. He's actually a great fucking magician.
He was the magician?
Yes.
Oh,
With
I
the
didn't know
turtleneck?
that.
That's Constantine.
Okay, now I see it, but that's so random.
And he's from LA. I'm like, fuck, dude. I should hang out with him.
The most random guys are magicians.
Yeah.
Manic Focus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's someone else too. It's such a weird hobby to pick
They
up.
also Volume. This is a cool thing about Volume 2. They gave them a budget to make a musical, and Constantine made a musical with the other homie there. I think Merlino.
We definitely need more money then if they're just paying for musicals.
Cough it up, Volume. Let's go.
I know you got money for a trivia show.
I know you got money for a trivia show.
I'm doing numbers out here at Yacht Club. Y'all better check it out.
Just kidding. We're grateful.
Yeah, I love them.
Okay, Jon Barber. Are you ready for it? Round 2.
I'm ready for it.
Everyone is obsessed with the Jon Barber interview last year, and we tried to do things that we didn't do from the last episode.
I don't think we really did.
No, we did. It was just an open conversation. He's the best. He'll talk shit. He'll talk shit about Brownie, and
he's a rich well of information too.
Yeah, and he's smart. We were talking about it. We were talking about everything.
He's pretty cool for a guy from New Jersey.
I thought he's from Philly.
No, he went there for college.
He's a Jersey guy?
Yeah.
Shout out to Jersey.
I think he is.
I hope he gets like one of those like gold faces, like
Really?
the Jersey Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Jon Barber. What is his last name? Gutwillig?
Albert Einstein, Jon Barber. Albert Einstein's not from New Jersey, but he did teach at Princeton for a long time.
So, all right, guys, enjoy the episode and
Yeah.
enjoy Gem and Jam. I'll see you guys out there. I'm there all weekend. We're gonna hang out. Oh, Maddie O'Neill's there too. Madeleine. And and enjoy Jon Barber. This is great. Hey, Chris, play some Disco Biscuits. If you don't know who Jon Barber is,
Play Orc theme, please. Play Orc theme for me. Thank you.
Orc theme.
That's one of their songs. I
Oh,
like.
cool. I mean, they're on a roll right now. I went to their show this year, and this is the best they've ever sounded.
Cosby used to open for them all the time. Actually,
Yeah,
Back when they
I
still
think
had openers.
they're dialing it in again, and it's cool. Yeah, enjoy
Cosby.
John.
It sounds like I'd sing Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
My old band Cosby Sweater used to open
Yeah.
for them all the time. Not
Yeah.
Bill Cosby.
His
you
old
know what he
band
did.
Cosby Sweater was a Disco Biscuits cover band.
We did do one cover. Yeah.
All right, guys, enjoy John, and we'll see you next week.
Bless
It's
your
just
hearts.
going to be me and Nick, and we got some special guests.
But we're not going to tell you who.
No, it's just going to be a surprise.
It's a very good guitarist.
It's a very good guitarist and a guy who loves the lion. All right, guys, bye. All right, there we are.
Bam.
Wow.
All right.
Round two of the
Welcome
tell-all.
back.
Round
Yes.
two of the tell-all.
Now
Can't
Jon
believe
Barber.
it.
Now we know each other, and we had a fact checker on the last interview, Mr. Barber.
Oh yeah.
We did.
Yes.
We're not going to name any names.
The World Saving Podcast fact checker is Mark Brownstein. And
We're not going to name any names. Mark Brownstein.
Mark Brownstein told us that
He said you lied the whole time.
you're lying about being a rich kid.
When did I say I was a rich kid?
No, you said you weren't a rich kid. He says you were a rich kid.
Ooh.
What? What is he talking about? That's crazy. That's
Are we going to have
crazy.
to cut out the first 3 minutes of the podcast?
I'm a rich kid now, but
Yeah,
it's not because my parents gave
That's
me
what
any
I'm fucking
money.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
wanna be a rich
But
kid
honestly,
so bad.
Barber, you do look richer.
Yeah.
I do like your face is glowing. I feel like you're taking care of yourself. You do look.
right now,
You're
bro.
looking tan. Like, did you just come back? Did you buy some Bitcoin in Puerto Rico? What's going on with your life right now?
Honestly, let me just say, I'm going to drop the ultimate thing on you right now to start
right.
this off.
All right.
I know we're going to talk for 5 hours. I probably should wait 3 hours before I drop this, but I'm just going to start here. I have invented the greatest fitness routine known to man.
What?
And it's working. It is working. Look at
Dude,
that.
your
Look
skin
at my
looks
chiseled
good.
body.
I mean, you
Look
do
at that
look
shit.
hot.
Look at that. I'm
Holy
rocked
shit, you got
up.
muscles, dude.
I know. It's the
Drop
best
the
thing
routine,
ever.
bro. What is it?
All right,
Drop
so,
it,
So this
drop
is what you do is you get on the exercise bike and
I'm
you
out.
pick up the controller to the Zelda unit,
Okay.
right? And then you put a big screen TV on the other side of the room, as big as Target will sell you.
Yeah.
And you put the Zelda into the big screen TV, and then you sit on the bike, pedal in, grab the controller, and you play the entire game of Zelda.
Holy shit. What's going? Who are
You play the whole game of Zelda, which is like a 70 million hour experience.
Yeah, exactly.
While you're pedaling.
Twitch this thing. Why don't you
I was
Twitch
thinking
it?
about it. I don't know. It's
You
just
want
like,
people to-
I don't know. I
want
think I
people
gotta
to hear your
Google how
heavy-
to do that.
You're heavy breathing while they're on Twitch. It's like the mic's right by your face. You're like halfway through a workout. Like, I gotta get more rupee.
Yeah, you're like-
I mean, that's
Thanks for tuning
AMSR,
in.
you know?
they're asking questions about the biscuits. Yeah, fuck Brownstein.
They're probably in the comments like, this dude is fat and the worst Zelda player I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
How you doing, Barber?
I'm good, man. How are you
Feeling
guys
good?
doing?
Feeling happy?
You have been doing some shows, dude.
Bro.
Nobody tours like you, man. You tour like Garcia used to tour.
Dude.
It's crazy.
You guys, you guys used to do that too. I'm just a little bit
We
younger.
did. We never toured as much as you did though, because we would kill each other after. We had an 11-week hard limit on every tour. So
Pretty long though.
That's pretty long.
That
dude.
was we only did that once or twice, and I think we took gunshots at each other. At
Yeah,
the
what
end
was
of
the
that
worst
tour.
one? What was the worst one? What, like, give me like after 11 week, what happened?
Oh, the band broke up. The tour ended because the band broke up. We canceled like the last 2 weeks of shows. I think Mark got out of the RV in the middle of the street in Richmond. We were touring in an RV back then. He got out of the RV in Richmond because he didn't like Steely Dan, which is like now a thing on
He's
TikTok
wrong,
or whatever.
by the way.
Now a
He
thing.
he invented that TikTok thing. I hate Steely Dan or I love Steely Dan or whatever the thing is that's going on. I don't know. That's how crazy tour gets after a while. That's how crazy tour gets. Because that was connected to something else, connected to something else, connected to something else, which after 11 weeks spills over.
I know
the
of
top.
another band where the light guy and the sound guy, one of them got fired because they got in a fist fight over who's better between the Fish and Grateful Dead.
Oh God.
I'm not going to say what Works the band it is. You know what I mean? What band it is the Works. You know what I mean?
That's a good argument, though. I've been in that argument
That's
before.
at least a good argument. Yeah.
What side are you on in that argument?
Me? I like Fish's music more, actually. I'd rather go to a Fish show, but I think the Grateful Dead is a more important band. Does that make sense?
That's wonderful. That's
What's your take,
That's wonderful,
Mr. Jam Band?
I don't think you can mess with the Deads. I saw Jerry play, so
It's different, yeah.
yeah. So I know what happens when Jerry was ripping into a solo. I mean, both of the guitar players are the best ever, so it's hard to say one's better than the other.
Yeah.
But the Grateful Dead songbook is crazy, and also.
you're right.
I was
it's
seeing the
insane.
Grateful Dead at like Giant Stadium. You know, it was
Yeah.
it was a different experience. It was this thing in the 80s that they don't, you know, I've never seen Fish do it. I've seen Trey do it with the Dead, but I've never seen Fish do that on that level. I guess they obviously have, but I wasn't at any of those shows. Great
I would
Went
definitely
and
feel
whatever.
differently probably if I saw them with Jerry Garcia.
Yeah, with Jerry was crazy. Like Jerry would just mow you over. There's one time that I had taken acid at a MSG Fish or an MSG Grateful Dead show, and I had taken acid, and I was young, and I went to get a cone of ice cream, and I came. Apparently, don't eat ice cream, you know, when you're tripping, and I got my ice cream, walked back into the room. You could feel it like in your jaw, like about to start. And Jerry's Candyman solo was so good while I was eating the ice cream that I was like bone sober at the end of it. And then I was just like, what happened? Like I got tranced. I got taken away and then put right back in my spot, ready to go home.
How old
I
are
think
you?
my parents were picking me up outside.
How old are you?
I don't know. I was probably 17, 16, 17.
Do you remember when Jerry died? Like,
Yes.
where were you?
It's a good question. I think we were just in Philly in the summertime, and I don't really remember what I did when Jerry died. Honestly, I think we like jammed. We got together and
95
jammed.
He died, or what year did he die?
Yeah, I think it was 95, like August or something. I could be confusing that with his birthday.
Like,
though.
were you
I-
sad?
No, because his birthday and his death day are like a week apart. I think they're both in August.
Yeah, honestly, I was like 16 or 17 when Stevie Ray Vaughan died.
Oh,
And,
fuck. That probably hit you hard.
And I was on a football team and I got in a big fight with the coach because he was like, you got to go to practice. And I was like, I'm not going to practice. Stevie Ray Vaughan died today. And he was like, you got to go to practice, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm not going to practice. He goes, well, then I'm going to kick you off the team. We had that whole argument.
Really?
And I was like, fuck you, man. Stevie Ray Vaughan died today. Do you have any idea what that means?
He's like, no.
And and he couldn't have cared less, dude. The last thing he wants. And I didn't get that much playing time with that coach, and I wonder why. You know, I never.
Hold on. Were you taking acid and playing on the football field?
No.
would be insane.
That
That'd
would
be
be it. You would
insane.
never do it. You would run out on the, or you would be incredible. You would be
Who's that
You know,
pitcher? Who's
Doc
that pitcher?
Ellis.
Doc Ellis.
On the Pirates.
trivia machine. Yeah.
I answered it before you were like even.
Well, like,
I mean,
what's the
I played a
difference?
pool tournament at Penn and took acid and just killed everybody. It was
Really?
crazy. Yeah, it was like coming out of a movie or something. I was hitting like double once backs across the table. It's insane.
There's no Mike linebacker in billiards, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not gonna blow your knee out.
Yeah.
But you know, I think he's onto something there. I think individual sports are good for acid. Like I think like swimming would probably be a great sport for acid. Golf.
I'm surprised golfers aren't doing it all the time.
Cornhole.
Do you ever like take
Cornhole
acid?
all the time.
Yeah, cornhole. There it is, Jon Barber, ninth hole of the cornhole championship.
What'd be the worst
He's
sport on that?
staring at a wall right now.
He's hit 170 in a row. We don't know what's going on.
We don't know
here.
what happened, but Jon Barber's on. He's about to hit the world record in cornball history.
His spine hurts.
You ever take acid at a concert and forget that you're actually in a band? just forget
yes.
that you're like in a group setting and you're just fucking just shredding too much, or just like.
There was a show where we played after Dark Star Orchestra, and they had said some really nice things to us, and I think they blew up our ego a little bit, and we took a little bit too much acid. And I went out on stage and I played just with the ride cymbal for the entire set. And I went back and the ride cymbal's like all over the place. It's not a good, like play with the kick drum, play with the snare. Don't play with the ride cymbal. I went back and listened to it and it was just like craziness. It was total insanity.
Oh my God. Like what were you thinking then? Like, this is dope?
I just forgot. I forgot that there was a thing going on. I was just like so entranced with what I was doing and the little nuances around the ride cymbal and how like that ding made my ding, blah, blah, blah. And like literally I forgot and like half an hour went by.
A half an hour?
It was really long. I went back and listened to it. I was just like, oh my God, that's
I love
oh my God.
We have
That's
also some
insane.
breaking news.
No wonder.
I heard
Yeah, what's
another
up?
fact check World Saving Podcast thing is actually a source we won't tell, but I heard you put your name in the hat for being the drummer of Goose.
Dude, I love playing the drums. I would definitely take that job. You know, I don't know what to do about those guys. I don't know.
I want Peter's job.
Yeah,
I don't know, like, who
what if Brownstein
sells out Hampton Coliseum and then cans the drummer the next day? I don't understand what's going on over there.
Yeah,
it's got to be hard
It's
to be in
so
a band that blows up that quickly, right?
They've been around for like 10 years.
Oh, yeah,
Quickly. What are you talking about? This guy's been around forever. The hard part is like, okay, this is an unpopular thing to say. I know. I'm a guitar player. We say the wrong thing all the time.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, as far as drummers go, how bad could he have possibly been? Did he drive a motorcycle into the lobby of a hotel?
Yeah,
Did he like disappear on an alcohol binge and then they found him at some castle in Leeds 6 months later? Like how bad in the scope of drummers, just the small group that they are. You know, like the drummers, they're just like they're a special breed, and no, you can't do their job. You know what I mean?
I'm visualizing the next time Barber quits the Biscuits is to be the drummer of Goose.
Oh my God, I think I would take their music.
You. I think Brownstein would literally poison your drink.
Yeah, I know, but you know, I don't know. I think I would take their music in a direction that their fan base doesn't want to go in.
Ride cymbal the whole time for half an hour. It's called a callback, people.
Oh, let's go.
I wonder how long it would be till they fired me. You know what I mean? Like how many days? That would be. I should make a YouTube channel about how long can I stay in Goose
and just keep you in there for at least a couple of weeks.
Day 25. I'm still in Goose.
They haven't noticed I don't own a drum set yet.
I just opened the bays of the bus right before it left, and their luggage scattered all over I-95.
I've been upgraded to first class 3 times.
There's Barber at the local coffee shop making another programming website.
Yeah.
Can I open with Baba G?
I mean, you've been busy. I've been seeing you doing the musical again. What's the new musical this year?
I did a musical in May. It's called The Very Moon. It's an adaptation of The Hot Air Balloon, so it's different. We wrote 16 new songs for it. We changed the plot. We changed the characters. We made,
It's not funny,
but it's also hilarious.
Hold on. Barber, how do you have time for all this?
By the way, that's the most serious he's been so far. Just talking about his jam band musical.
I know, seriously. I read that. I was really hopped onto the party line for that one right there.
No, but it seems like, I mean, from the clips I've been seeing from Magner and you, it seems like it's fucking, it takes a lot of work and effort.
Oh my God, everything takes a lot of work. I don't even know what to tell you. I mean, the life takes work. There's nothing new, no way around it. I don't know. I don't even know why we did a musical, honestly. It was during the pandemic. It was just something to do that was interesting. I watched a lot of Disney Plus with my kids, so I was like, it'd be, why can't I put something on Disney Plus? I don't understand. Right. So that's basically, what are we going to do with this? I don't know. We're just having fun with it. We're making music. We're having fun. Like, what else is there to do, really, in this line of work?
Right. Maybe we forget that music is just supposed to be fucking fun. We take it so goddamn seriously sometimes. Like, why can't we just have fun in life?
Yeah, somebody came up to me and they're like, aren't you worried you're going to ruin your career? And I was like, what career are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
I'm in the Disco Biscuits. I am in the Disco Biscuits.
Yeah. Do you think I'm the drummer of Goose? Like, what happened?
I've quit this band 4 times now.
Yeah, I'm trying to get kicked out of this damn band. This is my new plan.
We literally quit when we're at our most successful.
I'm telling you right now, there's a fucking big buzz for the Biscuits. Everyone says you guys are sounding the best you've ever sounded.
True.
So what's going on?
I agree.
What's happening? Like what's the chemistry? What's going on? You guys like each other again or what?
We've been getting along. We're a little too old to be at each other's throats all the time, and that's a good thing. We've been working really hard on the band, and I think that everybody in the band's been really trying to find their role in the organization and then do their job really well. And everybody in the organization has found a really nice role that they like. And now everybody's starting to things are happening in the Disco Biscuit organization that have never happened. Like, we're all writing together in the same room.
Whoa.
We're making song after song. We're working in a really positive mindset. We're touring well together. I don't know. Everything's been good. We fixed a couple of little things about the org that was causing some issues, and I think those little, if you get rid of big problems, smooth sailing becomes an option. And I think that's where we're at. What
were those big problems?
The biggest one was summer camp, and I don't know why we didn't figure this out for 20 years, but summer camp this past year to Chicago, Ian Goldberg's last summer camp. Love Ian. Great promoter, great Chicago promoter, and put us on this incredible stage in Chicago. We hadn't played in Chicago too much, and it was great to be out there with those kids. And we really wanted to impress them. We played the night before. We played great. The next night, he gave us a nice little place to hang out. I had my Peloton Zelda thing. I was playing Zelda backstage, and everybody's all relaxed and having fun. And we played the whole set before we went on stage and played the whole set. And this was a paradigm shift for our band because we play a totally different show with totally different transitions that are sometimes cockamamie every single set, every single show.
Right.
And so now we do the entire show before we do the show again. We do it backstage. So now we don't have to individually figure out what to practice, and we don't have to stress out about, did we do this? Did we do that? You actually just do everything. And we do really short jams or no jams at all because you don't want to ruin the freshness of the jam. Yeah. So we do this, we play set 1 real tight, then we play set 2 real tight, the encore real tight, and then we take a break for dinner. Where before what we used to do was hang out, talk about the show, talk about the set list, and work on what we thought were the trouble points in there, and then we get on stage and find out we missed a bunch of them. We haven't done that song and we actually forgot the ending. It's no big deal. The ending's easy, but running it for the first time on stage in front of thousands of people just causes chaos. Right. But if you run it backstage once, you get a chance to make your mistake there. And then when you go out on stage, the amount of mistakes you make reduces greatly. And we're making like a couple mistakes a show instead of like a litany of mistakes every show. And when you do what we do, that is a huge difference because people like that level of perfection in their music. So I feel like that has been the number one biggest change for the band, for sure.
So you're just caring more.
So you're trying.
Yeah, we're giving a shit more. Do you have any
Also-
idea how many hours a Disco Biscuit show is for a day? Like, there's DJs making 10 times the money that I'm making, and they go out and they press play for 90 minutes, maybe even 60 minutes. And all they do is sit on the plane on the way there and pick the 16 songs they want to play. 12 of them are Avicii still. You know, it's just like... That's it. We're playing a totally different show that we have to play twice every day. The show's 3.5 hours long. The first playthrough takes 2 hours. So it's 5.5 hours of I'm playing guitar. Plus, I got to do all the warm-ups, vocal practice, all the other things that we got to do before a show. So a Disco Biscuit show is like a 12, 13-hour day. It's like we're shooting a movie with Tom Hanks or something. You know what I mean? It's a full day.
Maybe that's why you guys are getting along with each other, because you're actually communicating with each other and hanging out.
Yeah,
Then
we got
you
to
guys,
sit
like-
down and play. And it's so musical. It's less about us having opinions about each other and more about us just like getting our job done for the day. And that is... And it's just so much better. It's crazy. I can't believe we didn't think about it.
I'm going to cry. This is like maturing.
What about
Let's fucking go, Barber.
I have a question about your...
Thank you.
You also recently hired my former roommate as your new lighting director, Alex Herm Schneider. Has that affected your playing on stage, having a new light guy? He's the best, though, huh?
I saw the pictures from the New Year's, and I was just, every picture made me cry. Every picture.
He's the man.
He's so good at his job, and it's beautiful. And
I love it.
I don't know.
love
We're
seeing
very
you happy.
lucky he's available.
Barber, I love seeing you happy, bro. You seem happy. Do you feel content with your life?
You know, I've had it. Like 2023 was a really, really tough year for me.
What happened?
I lost my father in 2023.
Oh, fuck, dude. I didn't know that.
And we had this like weird, we were never that emotional together. And he called me up and we had this weird emotional phone call. And I hung up the phone and was like, oh my God, that might be the last time I ever talked to him. And then it was the last time I ever talked to him.
Can you go into what was the conversation about?
He called me up and asked me some like questions about how I was doing, which he never did. And then he asked me to like look after some stuff for my brother and look after some stuff for my mom.
Was he sick already?
Yeah.
So you knew
sick.
he
had-
was like, he was, this was like not a random, like, hey, I'm dying. You knew he was kind of.
Well, look, I'm not a doctor, okay? I just want to be sure that you know that. I do a lot of multitasking, but I'm not a doctor. However, However, I have seen so many people's parents have trouble because the first time they went to the doctor was last summer, and the pandemic, nobody went to the doctor. So it was like 2019, they got a checkup, and then 2023, they got a checkup. But what was happening in 2021, 22, and this is what happened to my dad, is things were getting bad and they just didn't know it because they didn't go and see anybody, and they didn't get any of the million tests that you can get nowadays. So what happened with my dad was in June, he had a lump. In late June, they removed the lump. It would never healed. Right here.
Okay.
Right
like
under. For those of you listening, I'm patting below my armpit. So it was like from deodorant or something like that, right? But it was like a golf ball sized lump. The fact that he didn't notice it till June, I'm like, what kind of self-check are you doing, Fred? Come on, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, so they removed it, and then it was bleeding, and it never healed. Like his whole summer, I just felt so bad for him. My mom had to bandage him every day. They kept doing more tests, right? And so the first time they do a test, you got to wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks for the test to come back. It's benign. Now we're middle of July. He's still bleeding every day. So they're like, why don't you come back in? We'll take another sample. We'll try and sew you up. So that's what happens in July. They take another sample. Then he comes back in August, and they're like, oh, it's stage 1 cancer. We're sorry. It's in your lymph nodes or something. And then they go, oh, let's take some biopsies from the rest of your body. Then they're like, oh, it's stage 3 cancer, and this is really bad. And it's stage 4 cancer 2 weeks later, and now it's late September, and then he passed away. And it was like literally like every time he went to the doctor, and every time he went to the doctor, they told him something that was dramatically wrong 3 weeks later. Like he would go back. First they said it was benign. Then 3 weeks later, they're like, you have cancer. Like that's the worst set of diagnoses ever. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I think I could have done a better job. 3 weeks after that, they're like, oh, it's stage 3 cancer. 3 weeks after that, they're like, it's stage 4 cancer. You better call your family. Like, so it was just like these doctors just like never figured out what was going on. And they kept telling him something that was entirely incorrect at the time and 2 weeks later when they told him the next piece of news. So it was an awful thing. And the whole time he's waking up every morning covered in blood, cleaning himself up, covering himself in bandages. Next day, slept on it, didn't heal every single day for like 150 days. And I was just like, so... Oof. Even talking about it is so brutal.
Were you close with him?
I mean... we were kind of close. He was a loner like me in a weird way, and so we were as close as loners could be, I think. And I don't know. He was a really good guy. He was a great person. He spent his whole life making sure that I had a good life. You know, he was a great person. But that's a tough way to go out. I would just recommend that everybody
get checked out.
Go to the damn doctor. Get checked up now, because if you didn't go during the pandemic, you don't know what happened during the pandemic.
How's your health?
I mean, I think it's good. I get on the Peloton every day for a long time. I beat cholesterol in 2023, and I beat diabetes in 2023.
Let's fucking go!
Let's go.
Let's fucking go, Barber!
I beat both of those things. My doctor was like freaking out. She's like, in another month, you're going to be a diabetic and your cholesterol is so high, you could have a heart attack tomorrow. You better get your life insurance. And I was like, oh my God, you're kidding me. So, but if you just bike every day, all those things go away.
Yeah, I think you just got to sweat, right?
Yeah, sweat and maybe drink less. You know what I mean? Sweat and drink less. Eat a little better.
How's your drinking intake lately?
It's been great. I mean, I had a nice little holiday season where I drank a little bit, but I'm kind of over it. I love pot gummies, dude. Pot gummies have saved my whole life.
Why? Tell me.
Incredible. Okay, so what's wrong with pot? Can we talk about... I have guys in my band smoke a lot of weed. I'm not talking about them right now, but people come over with the weed and the little filter sticks and the paper and the crumples this and the crumples that and the lighter and all this bullshit so they can roll a joint up and then have ash and the light and the match and all this. It's just like this. It's just like 1978 disaster in like multiple places in your house so these people can get high. and now they come over with like a glass like erector set with a bulb and another bulb, and they have a butane lighter and a harnester and a charger and a it's like pot crack.
Trying to get high.
Yeah. I'm like I have an alley around back. You can go do it out there if you want to. So it's insane what people do to smoke weed. And then you know, it's all this, it's all the mess and the cleanup. They leave the studio and I get to do all the cleanup, right? So let me tell you, the gummy, there's no cleanup. There's nothing. There's nothing. You eat the gummy. It's just like done. It's delicious. Maybe I have to wait 20 minutes to get high, but at least I don't have to spend 20 minutes like at the butane store, like figuring out which kind of holistic butane I'm going to shoot into my face today. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm glad you're, because I quit smoking cigarettes.
Wow. That's
after
a big
12
one.
years. Yeah. I can't believe it. And, I've been on these Zins, but now I'm like, I love how convenient a Zyn is. I'll just like wake up from bed and just pop a Zyn and then
Now
go
you're
back
just
to
gonna be
bed.
addicted to Zen, like more addicted to Zen.
Yeah, well,
I mean, you might as well be addicted to Zyn. Then, like, you don't smell like cigarettes anymore.
yeah, and the only problem with
I could.
the only
What
problem
is Zyn? I don't
a
even know
Zyn's
what
just
that
a
is.
nicotine patch, so it's no tobacco. So
I
it's
gotta
just
try that.
But the
I would
problem
love
is
that.
though it's a lot of sodium. So that's the only thing wrong.
It can't be that much sodium.
Dr.
So is
Seuss.
Korean barbecue. You don't see anybody
dude,
slowing down on that
shout
shit.
out to Korean barbecue.
So much sodium.
But Bar, I want to go back to your phone call with your dad because this is really important. I think we just like kind of
okay.
skipped over to here. What was the conversation like by the end of it? Was he saying he's proud of you? Did he say he was dying? Like, what was that like? You
Didn't say he was
intense.
dying. Didn't talk about what the doctor told him. Didn't tell me what the doctor said last time. So he was stage 1 cancer is the last thing that he told me.
But that
and
was
he
4
lied
weeks.
to me.
That was 4
Yeah,
weeks.
he lied to me about the rest of it. He didn't tell me, and he didn't tell anyone. He just didn't want anybody to be concerned about him. You know, he didn't want anyone to burn any cycles on him, which is crazy.
That's
but,
wild.
Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Yeah, Norm Macdonald did that. Would you
Yeah,
do
it was
that?
like a Norm Macdonald situation.
Would that be you too? You're a loner.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I find myself saying things all the time that he used to say to me. And I'm just like, and I used to be like mad at myself, like, don't become your father and blah, blah, blah. I used to say that to myself. And now I'm like, there it is. There's a little Fred in there right there.
Yeah.
No big deal.
So you got out of the. Did he say he loved you?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But he did say he was proud of me. And then when I went to look through all of his stuff, I found like all the playbill from the Very Moon musical, and I found posters from some of the shows I had done, and
that's
I didn't know he was. I found news clippings, all sorts of stuff that I had no idea. I thought he kind of hated my job, and I thought he kind of like didn't. You know what I mean? I never got the approval from him directly. I got it from him kind of posthumously when I saw what he was kind of stacking in.
That's
news
why I was like
clippings and
kind of
stuff.
asking about this. Like, it feels like the resentment of the past, like, could not make you want to have that closure when that time's come. Because did you feel like it was like the last? You said like you felt like it was like the last time you're going to talk to him.
Yeah, it almost felt like he was going to cry on the phone call. It was very emotionally charged, and he didn't say anything. It was like this. It was like, have you seen Saltburn yet? You know how they're like,
I gotta see it. Yeah, I heard it's awesome.
crazy scene in there with like, they're old British people, and they just like they pretend that nothing affects them.
Yeah.
And he was like kind of
Nick
like
Gerlach
that.
right here, dude. That's Nick.
Are you like that, Nick?
Oh,
Is that
God.
your thing?
I'm also British as hell.
Oh God, he is like
Are
that
you?
to a 10,000 degree.
I'm not pretending.
So
Barbara, this is safe space. When I ask
right.
you this, I want you to be real honest.
I will.
Were you a little salty that Trey got flowers for Game Heads this year when you've been making this is your third musical? We're like, fuck this
Dude,
guy.
we did Hot Air Balloon on New Year's 2018. We did the same thing they did this year.
Ooh, there we go.
5 years ago.
That's the shit I'm talking about. That's a world
Shots
saving
fired.
exclusive. Shots fired
Dude,
on Trey
we
World.
debuted Hot Air Balloon on a New Year's at a New Year's show.
Why are people losing their
Damn.
goddamn mind over Game Hedge? I don't know enough about fish knowledge.
Kind of cool.
What is it?
I mean, they have a huge audience. They're from the era of huge audiences. Like none of us are from that era. They're from the era of pre-Napster, record labels, like marketing budgets, CDs. Like the music business, you could get to a different critical mass
Get
in
more
those
lore.
years. That nobody gets to that critical mass anymore besides Drake, really, or Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see it. Like, who are the big bands now are still, if you look at the big bands now, a lot of them were big back then. Fish, Coldplay, U2, Foo Fighters. Like, you're seeing a lot of that. The world has fractured, as they say,
Do you think
And you really need a big marketing budget to get out of things. I know Taylor Swift's dad owned the record company she was on, so I'm sure she got a good one. Drake is the best rapper ever. So what are you gonna do? But
You love Drake?
I love Drake. I think he's fucking good. I don't listen to him very much, but every time I hear him, I'm like, wow, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. He's got a couple of raps where you're like, oh wow, that's good. That's really good.
What
It's
about-
like undeniable.
What about when a band loses a band member and when they're really big and
Like who?
Like Goose. Like I think about Goose. Like, is that gonna fuck them up? Do they don't have original drummer, or does no one care?
It depends. We'll see.
Depends
Well,
on
I
who-
guess that's
who
what 2024 will see. You know,
Yeah.
if people care or not. Who are they going to replace them with? You know, that's the big question.
By the
John
way,
Barber.
You know,
Speaking of new members,
I know you're lying about this. I talked to Baruch. He said you put your name in the hat.
Speaking of new bands,
yeah. I mean, Bruce out there trying to mix it up. He's trying to get
but the Smashing Pumpkins are doing open auditions for their new guitarist position. Did you see that?
Really?
Anyone can apply. So if you're looking for another gig, Barber, there you go.
Honestly, I love the Smashing Pumpkins when I was a kid, so I would take that gig. I don't know if I'm like cool enough looking physically to do that job. You know what
No,
I mean?
you got like a 10,000-mile stare. I mean, you could be perfect in that band.
Have
Like,
you seen Billy?
Yeah,
Corgan? You're fine.
I mean, I saw
you're way
Billy
hotter
Corgan.
than Billy.
Yeah.
You're way hotter than
It
Billy
looks like
Corgan.
Voldemort.
He does look like Voldemort.
He does. But he does have like a really well-shaped skull as far as a guy who shaves his head. Like,
But you
it's
got
very
hair.
round.
If you could be in any band, what band would you be in?
Oh, it's a great question. When I was a kid, the answer was definitely Chili Peppers before like
Oh, yeah.
the pop Chili Peppers, back in the funk Chili Peppers, like Through Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic Chili Peppers. There was a time where I thought I could probably fill in for Trey and Fish if I needed to. I think I was 17 when I thought that. But, I could rip all the big ones, so I could do that. I could definitely be in the Grateful Dead.
Ooh.
But I think I'm like too close to the jam bands. I think if I really wanted to be in a band, I would want to be in like a real like different kind of musical experience. Like I would want to be in BTS. Nice. You know what I mean? I would want to be the white guy in BTS.
Hold on, is that Asian group?
Yeah.
K-pop?
Yeah, I would learn the dance moves and like get my hair slicked all tight and
But you're the same age.
you know what I mean? Get my freckles bleached off my face and just do something like that. A lot of powder.
Everybody in the band. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, like
They're all hot.
100 pounds, 100 pounds heavier than everybody in the band.
I went to college in the 90s.
They do the national anthem. They keep panning left, and the last one's Jon Barber.
Hey, guys, remember the Kenneth Starr report?
I mean, look, if NSYNC went back on tour and Joey Fatone didn't want to do the job, I think I could fill in for Joey Fatone.
You guys kind of look alike.
Do you think the rock star's dead?
The
idea of the rock star?
Yeah, I mean, people don't want the rock star anymore. People don't want a guy who's trashing hotel rooms, who's not drinking responsibly.
Oh, word?
Who's like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't know, buddy. What do you think? You do that pretty well. Like,
Yeah.
do you?
I mean,
do you
I get
feel
put
like
in a corner. I get put in a corner. I'm not like, it's not like, I think like, I mean, I'm popular, but I'm not like, I don't think
you get put in a corner though.
they just like stereotype me like, oh, he's just like bands won't let me open for them because they think our band's too
true.
crazy
That's
or
true,
blah blah blah. It's like they punish you for doing this shit now.
Dude, that's you and me both, dog. Like,
I know.
The Biscuits.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let us play Peach Festival because they thought our vibe was too crazy.
Really?
And I was like, what are you talking about? We're huge in this area, and they're like, yeah, but this is a chilled out festival for it's more mellow and chilly and hanging. And I was like, okay, thanks. Like, why am I that guy? And why? But it's because we have this like kind of edge to what we do,
Right.
and there's a lot of not edge out there today, which I don't know. Which is,
Don't even get me started.
what started with what?
Millennials.
What do you mean
Don't get me
started?
started with the fucking no edge, no spice.
It's not even just
You-
music. It's just everything's like that now.
I think we're just all on fucking, we're all on fucking Xanax and
Social
shit.
media leveled everybody out and made everything too homogenous, and like everybody's lame now because of that.
What do you think, Barber?
I think everybody's on antidepressants.
Yeah, I do too.
Be
Everybody.
depressed.
Everyone's on Xanax or antis.
That too.
Back in the day, music was your antidepressant.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, look at Nirvana. That stuff was like, I need antidepressants. You know what I mean? It's like every single song. And we love them all, And nowadays, people want like really good singing, mellifluously kind singing over either like it's very standard techno sound or maybe a song that sounds a little bit like Fish from the early 90s or something. And that's what people really like. and they also like what's the other thing that people like? I don't know. It just feels to me like, yeah,
You heard it here first. Don't get help if you're depressed. It's ruining everything.
yeah, just take Zoloft or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
I mean, that stuff works though. I gotta give them credit.
I know. Xanax works. I mean, I also think it's like, it's like the stigma of mental health is less now than it was back then. So like everyone really held in their depression, their anxiety, because it was like, it felt more of a weakness. Now it feels like more like a powerful thing to accept your illness.
Yeah, now you could make people like listen to your bullshit about your mental illness, when back in the day you had to do the Nick Gerlach method and just
hold it in.
Just
I'm an amazing musician. I explodes out of my horn every time I solo.
You're Barber, you're kind of a suppressive dude. Like, you hold your feelings in. How long did it take you to mourn your dad when he died?
Well, it was weird. The weirdest thing happened after my dad died. So my dad used to listen to a lot of classical music, but he didn't spend that much time with me. But he listened to a lot of classical music. And I know a lot about classical music and listened to all of it because I used to, be in the same house, and I learned from him on all that stuff. And so I feel like part of my desire to be a musician is just based on wanting my own dad to like me and hang out with me.
Right.
It's like, look, I do this thing that you love. You know what I mean? I do it good. I do this thing you love. Mm-hmm. And after he died, like a week later, I was like, oh, I don't need to make music anymore.
Oh, shit.
It just left, there's something left my face.
Wow.
When 2 or 3 days later, I was like, oh, I don't need to do any of this anymore. And I had this moment that was, I don't know how to explain it, except for it just like the desire to do what I do every day just left me. It flew away like Fee and Skyward Sword. It was just like, what happened? It was really weird experience. I was the only one I've ever had like that.
Because maybe it's because when you were first as a kid, you're doing it to try to get his fucking attention. Mm-hmm. And now you don't have his attention because he's dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was weird.
So,
and it just,
did you call Mark Brownstein and say you quit again right after that?
No, I didn't do that. I think I went to the studio that day and wrote a banger, but,
what'd you write about? What was the song about? In your head, that's got to be heavy, dude. I would be so kind of like not suicidal, but if I had that idea of all this work doesn't matter anymore, you've had a different situation where like when you had those feelings in your head, you just moved to programming or moved to blah blah blah. But it's got to be a scary feeling to like the baby that you nurtured, even if it was just for a split second. You're like, oh shit, I don't care as much right now,
Yeah, it was it was like a moment where it was like somebody took like a light napkin and like rubbed it over my face for a minute. And then I was like, oh, that's gone. And it wasn't like I was thinking about it. It just happened. Or I was just thinking about the finality of death and how he's not coming back. And now I need to do all the things for my mom that he was doing and make sure that she's okay and kind of fill the roles that he did a lot of things for everyone in the family, very unsung. And now I need to kind of like Inspector Gadget figure them out, all the things that he did. So that thing, and luckily we've been doing a good job of that, but like, it's a lot of stuff to figure out that he did and fill those roles and make sure that things don't fall apart.
Right.
And so like, I'm very concerned right now in life that like my family life could fall apart. And at the same time, you start like thinking about exactly what is it that is why you are who you are. You lose the person who makes you who you are. And you start thinking, do I have to become that person? Do I need to mourn this person in like a major way? Like, do I need to cry for 2 days straight? I don't really know. And then it occurred to me just randomly, oh, I don't need to make music anymore ever again. And I was just like, wow. I didn't realize, I knew kind of it was connected because I've even said it before many times, but it was definitely a change. There's a lot of things in my life that have changed.
it's so amazing how we forget that we do things at first to try to get attention from our parents or our friends or our peers. So when that moment happens, it's like, oh fuck, I've been on this path for so long and didn't realize that the path wasn't for you; it was for someone else.
Yeah, it was. It literally was. I mean, I wonder if somebody's ever going to invent a drug where you take the drug and it changes what nurture you got in your life. You know, like, because this is a nurture thing, right? If I grew up with a different set of parents, I would probably have different thoughts altogether.
Yeah.
You know, maybe this whole experience I've had since I was a little kid, which is probably why I started playing music so young. Is because like maybe I was using music as my way to communicate with my parents back when I was too young to communicate any other way, you know?
Right.
And so that's probably why I played instruments for so long. And I don't know if they ever figured it out or not. That's what's crazy. It's like when I look at my kid, like everything that he does, I'm like, oh, he's probably doing it for this reason or that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was third kid, right? So the third kid, you just be like, oh, he's still alive. Okay, let's move on with our day. You know what
that's
I mean?
how I felt too with my parents. I was third kid too, and my sisters were older than me, so it was like I felt like I was just like I kind of just did my things by myself because it felt like they just didn't really care about raising me.
That was the oldest.
Yeah.
So opposite.
Yeah, so you're the oldest, so you have to be tough and hold things in and be the
And then
adult
there's
child.
Barbara and I who were sensitive little Sallies.
Yeah,
you know?
you guys were little baby girls, and I'm that strong, proud alpha male.
Yeah, we have to be as loud and as obnoxious as possible, or no one else will notice that we're in the room.
Right.
What about Barbara? What about? Do you think that affected the way you feel love from other people, like your bandmates?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's definitely changed me quite a bit. I feel the change happening.
What about like
I don't
before?
Well, I'm 3 years into fatherhood, and that will change you. Let me tell you, that'll change you.
What does it change?
Well, I don't know. I like having a kid. So, and I know I see a lot of people that like having kids. So people who, if you can spend time with your kid, and like really enjoy their company, then I think you're in good shape for a really happy couple of years. And yeah, there's a lot of bullshit you have to deal with. They don't wipe their own butts. There's a lot of problems, but you gotta, if you can ignore all that and just enjoy what the rest of it has to offer, it's a great experience. But the interesting thing about having a kid that's very notable is like you can regret stuff in life, right? You can regret this, you can regret that. And, you know, Jay-Z's always like, you got to live with regrets or whatever. And I always used to say that to myself when I was regretting, and I'd be like, well, you know, Jay-Z says blah, 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 right? And so, but
I
when
love
you
that
have
you're
a
quoting
kid,
Drake and Jay-Z. I can have that in my bingo card for Jon Barber interview.
yeah. You know, I listen to everybody. But when you have your kid is a moment in time. He's literally a specific egg and a specific sperm that came together in a specific situation and became this specific. And chances are, if Mother Nature has her way, you're going to love your kid, right? And you're probably going to love your kid more than anything in the world because that's how Mother Nature cooks it up. Right. And your kid loves you. Your kid loves you. Right. You will never experience love. No girlfriend or boyfriend will ever love you like your child loves you. And it's just crazy. It's a crazy experience. And so you get in this like, you know, bromance. I have a boy, so we're in like a little bromance, right? And if I was to change any of the wrong decisions that I did in my life, any wrong decision. There was a time I was on a basketball court when I was 16 and I was playing with the varsity and they threw the ball to me and I had a 3-point shot to win and I bricked it, right? And like that, I still think about that occasionally, right? But if that was different, River wouldn't be River, right? And so my kid wouldn't be my kid. And so you can no longer regret anything that you did because then the bromance that you're in with your child or whatever you want to call it changes and the kid, you know, disappears like in the movies. Maybe you have a different kid, but the one that you have now that you love so much disappears like the movies, like one of those
Avengers.
Back to the Future type of things. So you can no longer regret anything in your past once you have a kid. You just have to accept it. And that is a big, big change for me as far as mental clarity and freedom of thought. Because I don't have to think about anything I did 10 years ago anymore. I just basically raise my kid and enjoy my life.
It's like an emotional butterfly effect or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I like this.
Exactly.
I like this concept. The only thing I don't agree on it is how do you just stop thinking about your past? Like it just turns off once you have a kid?
No, you think about your past, but instead of being like, oh, I wish I could have done that better, you just say, if I did it better, I wouldn't have River.
That's cool. Yeah.
So I guess I'm fine with the way that it went. You start looking at life as, when you look at your past and you regret things, what you're doing is overweight analysis on the negatives.
Right.
We played as a band, we headlined a stage at the base of Mount Fuji in Japan in front of all Japanese people. I never regret that. And I never pat myself on the back about that. I don't overweight that really, really, really positive experience.
Right.
But I'll think about like getting too drunk in Japan and spending like a few grand on some dumb alcohol because I was too drunk to make a smart decision. And I'll regret that. I'll regret that still, But now I can't regret that because, wouldn't have my kid. You know what I mean? So it's gotta learn to take the good with the bad and weight them in an even fashion. So you stop looking at the negative things in your past with such a strong magnifying glass. And you look at them as just things that got you to here and things are good. You know what I mean?
Do you have that same perspective with the people in your band?
Yes, I think so. I think that's maybe why things are going so well. Is that it's not about anything anymore. It's just about playing music, having fun, being able to do this job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird.
We take it so fucking seriously.
They're all dads too, right? Everyone's a dad in your band, right?
Everybody's a dad in the band. It's a daddy band.
Maybe that's why everybody had kids. They're all mellow now. The priorities,
Yeah, maybe it definitely changes perspective, and perspective change is good. I wish I'd done it sooner. I wish I'd done it younger. And I wish my dad sat me down and asked, do you want to have kids? And he never did. He never bothered. And my mom used to be like, oh, you're young. I was like 42. And she was like, oh, you're young.
That's what my mom does too. That my mom does.
Yeah.
Oh, you're young.
You're like, Mom, I have a colonoscopy this week.
But
it's my third one.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right, Barber. But with how your dad raised or how your dad showed you love, you probably wouldn't have made an extra. If he would have gave you all that love, you wouldn't give this extra effort to your kid to be better as a parent.
Well, that's definitely true. Yes, I'm trying to fix all the problems in my childhood with my kid. Like, I got no attention. I give him extra attention. I hang out with him too much. The pandemic was actually a godsend in that category because we spent the whole pandemic together playing video games, hanging out, like learning how to talk and walk and stuff. And it was amazing. And I that was the best part of the pandemic for me. But this is basically, I had one thought the other day that was interesting. Because I was like, why didn't my dad do this? Why didn't my dad do this? Why didn't my dad do this? And I remembered living in New York and walking around Brooklyn where I used to live and having the thought of why won't my dad tell me these things? And the difference is, which I'd never realized till he was gone, is I could have called him then and just asked him to tell me those things.
Right.
I could have called to him and asked him for all the advice that I was pissed that he never gave me. I could have been a participant in the relationship on a level that I just wasn't. And I wasn't, for whatever stubborn, dumb reason that I wasn't a participant in the relationship. He wasn't paying attention to me. He didn't take me camping. He never threw a ball with me. Whatever these dumb things are. But I still had the option to participate. in the 30s and when I was walking around New York, I had this thought, why can't I get some advice out of this guy? But I didn't call him and just ask him, can I please have some advice on this? And I think that's kind of like taking responsibility for my half of the dysfunctional relationship.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's like we in our stubborn ways, like they're always our parents. So you don't feel like you're like ever an adult with your parent. You still have that fucking kid mentality. It's like, they should be asking me how I feel, not me asking them how they feel. I did that with my parents. I was pissed off they didn't come to. We didn't go to Japan. I was being very petty about it, but I didn't actually tell them that I felt bad. I just kind of like just suppressed it and moved on. The street goes both ways, and I think that's
100%.
That's what you're teaching your kid too, right?
I don't know if I can teach him anything. He's stubborn as a mule.
Yeah, right. That's karma, bitch. That's karma, Barber. That is straight up karma, dog.
That's what they say. Your parents raise you, and then you raise your parents. So the thing isn't going away with River. I just have to like break through it, and
how's your relationship with your mom since your dad passed?
Well, we've had a lot of conversations about her being in her like third era and stuff like that. We're trying to spin it in a way to get her to take some ownership of her day-to-day activities and her social life. Mm-hmm. And it's really hard. It's really hard to talk to a mid 80s or late 70s, early 80s woman. I think she's in her 60s if you ask her.
Yeah.
But I it's hard to I wish she would just go swim at the pool and play bridge.
Yeah.
And I can't get her to do either one of those two things, but she does do her own stuff. And so we'll see what she does, We'll see what she does. I hope I can have like a hit single or something so I can just like send her to Europe with my niece and or like have her do like some cool grandma stuff, you know what I mean?
How's yeah, I hear that. How's the other company doing? Are you guys going to sell?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm living my life as if that stuff doesn't exist. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make the best music possible, and if they do stuff with those companies, then they do stuff.
Look at you. Who the fuck is this man? I don't even recognize you anymore, Barber. You're just out here living the Buddha life, dude.
I mean, look, yeah. I guess so.
Do you feel happier?
So.
Do you feel genuinely happier because you took all this weight off you?
I think so. I think having a kid was the greatest thing. My wife, Lisa, she basically is very pro-child. I was dating women who weren't that pro-child. Lisa was very pro-child, and so we really, really got after it a little bit. You know what I mean? And then having a kid was just like literally the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. So nice. I recommend it highly because it does Buddha you out a little bit. You've created life and you've passed yourself along to the next generation, which it alleviates. Like the word alleviate really means I reproduced. You know what I mean? That's what that word really means, because it alleviates this whole thing that you have inside of you that you don't know that you have inside of you, which is thousands of generations of people who like dragged boulders up a mountain and like gladiated and cooked potatoes in a bucket with a rabbit in it, for generations. So you could have this incredible life. Right. And then when you have your child, you realize that vanishes. And then you can hang out with your kid all day. It's good. It's a good combo.
What about you guys? I saw your tour schedule. Looks like you're fucking really busy next year.
Yeah, he's gonna hate me after this year. If I can come on the podcast, we do an annual thing where I come on every January.
Yeah, we'll go every January.
Next year, we'll be like, my life's in shambles. I don't know where to go.
My kid doesn't know my name anymore. My wife wants to divorce me.
Yeah, they moved out.
Yeah. My mom wants to move into the house. I don't know what's going on right now.
Buying this cabin in Colorado was the dumbest thing I ever did. Yeah, Goose didn't hire me. There, thanks for being honest with me. Finally.
All right, Barber, we love you, brother. Keep it going and keep the dream alive, pal. Love you.
Awesome. You guys look great. Thanks for having me back. And let's do it. Let's get started on everything.